Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of what do I do with my hands? By that I mean things looking, or not everything. A fair portion of the map is looking nice and green. I'm happy to say that. There's a few things that I still want to green up. I want to get that moving somewhere. Maybe we backfill some of this and fill in that area. And there's another aquifer over here that we could run some power to get juiced up. And then we can get this up and run, get a little bit more water in here for all of our friends. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Make this into a... Oh, there's two more aquifers in here. There's so many aquifers. I didn't even notice. How did I not see those two? Okay, well, we've got four more aquifers to tap into that we could take full advantage of. Get some more water up in here, doing all of the wonderful things. Irrigate more things for us. And we could definitely probably press the test and see how ridiculous we want to get as far as total beaver population, just based off the sheer excess that we have available to us as far as water and real estate that we can keep irrigated for prolonged periods of time. Like we're barely pulling any water out of this as time progresses, and we've still got the capacity to expand copious amounts of water storage everywhere. We can actually start working on filling a massive water tower in here, which wouldn't be a bad idea, honestly. And that would be a good way to save some of the water that's running off this side. And that could be just us pumping a metric poop ton of water up in here from the ground up, instead of trying to do like a series of pressurized water systems, which I'm not opposed to doing. The problem with the pressurized water system is I lose out on access to stuff like those power wheels if I wanted to use these power wheels, which I completely forgot that I actually installed these. Whoops. Side project completely neglected. My bad. We'll get those connected. Hopefully. Hopefully I can remember to do that. And yeah, I want to finish moving a little bit more of this power out. So one of the things on today's agenda is we're going to go about capping off, or at least getting as near as possible to a maxed out population well-being, which means taking advantage of the fact that we still have 27 bots not taking over a few of the positions available to them, and probably maybe expanding our bot production capacity so we can slowly replace our entire beaver working populace with our beaver iron bot populace, which is something that is always a fun task. It's definitely a hefty ask, though. That's one of the problems. We've got 283 beaver positions that need to be filled, and we only have 118 bots. Now, granted, a fair majority of those beaver positions are literally just hauling posts and building huts, which is not a bad thing. The problem with being reliant on bots and bots for those positions is they get really, really slow when they run out of power, and they run out of power pretty quickly, and it's hard to have charging stations and all of those things up and available in all of the places that we would have them going to. And honestly, why are you over here? What are you doing? You're probably rebuilding this. So I went back, and sorry, I'm digressing. I went back in here and I put the mechanical fluid pump back on the dirt as opposed to on the dams, because when it's on the dams, it keeps filling this area in, and it was going to just keep pumping all of our water out of this system and into the reservoir over here, which isn't helpful in keeping this irrigated for a prolonged period of time, which is kind of the point in having this like this anyway. So that's why I did that. We might end up pumping some water up here just so we can irrigate some more of this land up here, and probably expand this just a tad bit so we can take advantage of all of this real estate that we have reclaimed for ourselves. And maybe we'll blast this little plateau out, and plant plenty or copious amounts of foodstuffs up here. That's one of the things that I do want to actually tackle here today as well. So we'll go ahead. We're going to plant some more soybeans. We're going to plant some more kohlrabi, and we're going to plant a lot more cassava. We've got plenty of real estate here to work with in order to accomplish these things. So we're just going to go ahead and tackle this really quickly, and it should not be that big of an ask. And another thing that I do want to do actually is take advantage of this large pool here that we do have access to. And that means getting in here and unlocking these swimming pools, which we haven't touched this entire time, and we should have touched a long time ago. So we'll go ahead and get those guys in there like that. We'll probably go ahead and backfill a portion of this here as well. Not placing that there, but placing this right here. And then that means that we can now go ahead and put in the rest of our swimming pool right here. Or maybe just these two portions right here and right here, which is totally acceptable. And then we come across and we do another one on the other side. And then maybe we blast this portion out right here. Not that one right there, but this one right here. And we fill this one in right here. And that gives us one more spot to put another swimming pool. And maybe we do a little bit of the same back here. So we'll do something along these lines, something along those lines, and we'll just rip all of that out. Now this is going to be nice for us in the grand scheme of things, providing us with copious amounts of entertainment for our beavers, as well as a little bit of hydration to make the beavers a little bit happier. We could probably do the same on this end right here. What are those 3x4s? We could do something like that and then let them blast that out, and we can put another pool in there, and then I don't know, or not, and just say that this is... Why did I put double dynamite in there? I don't want double. Why would I do double? I want single dynamite, please, and a thank you. Anything more than that is a tad bit excessive, so that will meet the intent there. What else do we have well-being wise? We have double showers. We don't really need double showers anywhere. The only bonus that we get out of that is the wet fur bonus, which is not what we're after exactly. We do have this piece of real estate back here, which we could work our way into, flatten some of this out, and then start putting some entertainment stuff, an entertainment district up here, which I'm not opposed to doing. That would look a little something like this, and we'll just go ahead and we'll flatten out a large swath of this, and I kind of want to backfill a portion of this down here just because I don't want that becoming an issue for us. So we'll just go ahead and fill all of this in with dirt, which should be relatively simple. Probably did something wrong there because I feel like that wasn't high enough. Probably ended up just, yeah. Let's see, you see what happens there? Yeah. Okay, that will work. That's a decent piece of real estate there for us to capture, and that will be nice. And blast the rest of this down. I feel like that's a good chunk of real estate right there for us. We could do triples. I feel like that's fine. That should meet the intent there. And then come back on this side and then drop this one more layer there. That should be a decent enough piece of real estate for us to start planting the rest of our well-being stuff, to include our motivatorium and our mud baths, and then we'll have to dot some back scratches throughout the world as we see fit. Where that's going to be, I don't know, but I feel like we just kind of fit them in wherever we can, honestly, and this will be totally fine, totally acceptable. I'm totally down for this. Now, the last thing that we need to think about is the Earth Repopulator, which is going to consume basically our entire stockpile of all of the things. So we're going to want to expand our stockpile even more, and I've already expanded it just a little bit. We'll probably go and maybe we'll find another piece of real estate, or we'll just blast more of this out and we'll build another huge stockpile of goods on this side, which we should be able to do, honestly. We can get up here without too much issue, so let's go ahead and just rip this little mountain out. I don't think that this would be a bad use of our materials at all. Go ahead and rip this down. I want to make sure that we were 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and so theoretically we should be good with just those right here. Rip that out, rip that out, rip that out. That can go away, that can go away, and that can go away as well. And then we can just do, it should be what, 6, 8 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. We grab this, and then we do more of the same all the way across the board. Very easy, very simple, and should do all of the things that we want to do. Now, we do need to get some pathing over here and get that up and running. So we're going to go ahead and hit 3 times speed, let the game spool up and do game things. And we're also going to think about how to get down here. And so that's probably going to look a little something like this. So going to hit this button there. We're going to turn and come down here. The game is really chugging right now. Something fierce. And it is a tad bit excessive, a tad bit ridiculous, but it's okay. It's all right, Mr. Game. I believe in you. Some people might, but I do, okay? Or might not. I do. Don't let anybody lie to you and say you're not doing great things for beaver kind here, okay? Hey, nobody need the kind of sadness being thrown around all willy-nilly. Now, I do need to somehow get around here and then connect this up right there and right there, and that should work just nicely. Now, we do need to regain access to this area down here, and we're going to need to blast our way through to this side. And that might look a little something like making a nice little cut in to that piece of real estate right there, and that will be totally fine. Now, we do want to go ahead and grab this, rip this all the way down to the base layer, and we are going to go ahead and grab this and do a 2x10 all the way across here. And we'll have to, we'll probably just, instead of building stairs down. Nope, nope, game, don't fight me. Instead of building stairs down, ooh. Words. I know how to use them. We can do a little something like this. Connect that up like there, and then we just put this two-way station in right there. Does that work? I don't know if that will work. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, well, we didn't lose out on much, hopefully. Potentially. Maybe. All right, we'll let them work on that slowly but surely. They should be working on something somewhere. Where are our builders hiding right now? They are building this. Somehow we have a bot stuck in here. That's not a place. How did you even get down there, my guy? These are the questions I need answers to. Okay, that should let the water come out here and irrigate all of this. Reaching to the edge, which is perfect. We'll give this a max priority just so we can rescue that bot. Rip this out. We'll put in our last swimming pool right here. And apparently I went too far. Oops. Just fine. Actually, that's not what I wanted to do. Come on. We want this to go in like this. And we could probably save a little bit of water by filling portions of this in, like such as... Seriously, how did he get stuck over here? I am legitimately concerned and confused. But it's all good. We'll get that rectified. No issue there. That is not filling up nearly as quickly as I would like it to be. What is happening with the power? Are you... Oh. No. You're going the wrong way there, Mr. Water. Wrong way, Mr. Water. Oh my goodness. How did I mess that up so royally? Huh. Okay. Lesson observed for the second time. My bad. They need to get this rectified yesterday. I cannot believe I did that backwards like that. That is probably the most ridiculous thing I've done to date. It's not entirely true. I've done some pretty ridiculous things, but it's fine. We don't need to talk about that, all right? Okay? Definitely don't need to talk about that. One more thing that I want to do, though, is go ahead and get some more water storage in here. Just because we have the capacity to do so, and we want to come over here and check on how this is coming along. And it is coming along quite nicely. Do need to give them access to a few of the spots, which means probably doing something like this, then like this, then like this, and like this. And then bada bing, bada boom. No booms yet though. We need to make sure that everything is green. And we'll just go ahead and reach around here. Theoretically, we should be able to reach the majority of that, but I'll go ahead and put something in like right there. Or not, and save ourselves some heartache because we know that we're going to have to tear that out anyway. And that's all going to need to be triples there anyway too, so that is something to keep in mind. All right. Okay, did we get this in? We did get this back in, and we are back to filling it up as opposed to pumping it out. Good. Unconnected building, yes, I'm aware. Put that out, put this in right there. I kind of want to run this through here. I don't want to take too much of our place down here. That is going to be real estate for us to actually get across. Maybe we'll go ahead and... No, I need this real estate. So, let's do a couple things here. Rip. No, I don't want to rip that out. We're going to place this right here. Put in 2 of our farmhouses. Like that. Game. There we go. 2 farmhouses. That covers down both areas fairly well. We want cassava. Probably back to here. And we want more cassava out to here. And that's all these guys are going to be focused on. We're going to focus on cassava. You're going to focus on cassava. You are going to be harvesting, and you are going to be planting. And that'll be good. That's already in. I want you to go this way. I'm going to connect that up right there and right there. And then probably want to pause these two real quick and somehow save ourselves just a tad bit more real estate doing that. Yeah, there's no need for any of this. What am I doing with my hands? What am I doing? None of that's necessary. This isn't necessary. Whatever. It's fine. Go ahead and connect this up there. Give us a little bit more of this real estate back. That. And unpause you. And now we can go ahead and place, let's call it this here. And you go right here. And you go right there. Now we can finish planting the rest of this cassava down here where it belongs. Probably swap you out for bots, because why not? Then we'll go ahead and do the same thing over here, but you will be kohlrabi. You'll also be kohlrabi. And then you will be bots. You'll also be bots. Kohlrabi is what you're going to plant right here. I don't think we need that much in the way of kohlrabi. Want to just max it out because it is something that we have not been able to have filled up in a hot minute. So that will meet the intent there. And then on the other side, we need more soybeans. That means 2 more farmhouses. Right here and right here. We could probably do a little bit more blasting back in this way. Back here. A nice little piece of junction right there. And then we could put a sluice gate in here. They should be able to reach that. Close above downstream depth of 0.9. And that should, in theory, keep this side locked off and closed just in case we do run out of water. It'll keep this a fair portion of it irrigated. We won't be able to really do that up here. However, it will provide us with a nice, enough irrigated that I'm not too concerned about it. That's irrigated nice and back there though, so that is good to see. I want you guys to be harvesting bots. And now you guys are doing soybeans here. Yes. You guys are soybeans. All the way back to here, and that should be good right there. Then, last but not least, we put in more eggplants, but we're doing pretty good on eggplants. We're doing decent on eggplant rations. We're doing decent on overall foodstuffs. We're just not producing the base material as quickly and or efficiently enough to meet my intent. Which is why we're kind of expanding all of this over here. That being said, canola is always going to be a nice thing for us to work on, so we'll go ahead and just do that here, and you will be focused on canola. And you'll be focused on canola, you'll be bots, you'll be planting, and you'll be harvesting. Give me that button, and we'll do canola all the way back here. That should be good enough. Now we can grab... Oh, crap. They filled that in really fast. This is fine. Everything's fine. Go ahead, put that in right there because we can. Why not? Meh. It'll provide them a little bit more entertainment, which we're already at 54. That's beautiful. We need more scratchers. We need mud baths, and we need motivatoriums. How are we doing up here on all of this explosive laying? Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's all ready to go. Shouldn't have had anybody walking up there. Shouldn't have is not a Koa. Me. I should know this by now. Don't do ridiculous things with explosives while beavers have a chance to be up and about the cabin. Just fine. Cool. That's gonna be easy. They'll throw that in. Put this last piece in right here. Actually, we'll put a couple more pieces back in here just to clear some of this up. And apparently I missed a bit of terrain back here. My bad. Alright, that's all good. Why are we irrigated down here? Why are we green? Why are we green? Oh yeah, I forgot this runs under here. I forgot all about that. So we could run this aquifer right there into here and continue filling this entire reservoir up even more. It is an option for us if we would like to continue filling up our giant aquifer over here. I don't think there's really a need to do that, but it would be cool. Go ahead and unlock some positions for our bots to go and do other fun things with their lives. And we'll just go ahead and swap out a few more. We can throw in more buildings for them to go in and occupy, but I can't be bothered. We want to get over here, gain access to this whole area. I don't think there's really a need for that though, so I think we'll pass on that. Do want to give them an easier point of access, but I think this is as good as it's going to get. I can run some power up here and connect it to the tubeway station, which in turn would allow us to charge our bots, which are running around in this area back here. But I think that's totally acceptable for what we need out of this. All right. So that's all in. That's good. That's grand. They haven't touched that because I don't have a connection to it. Go ahead and connect all that. Need to give you guys access to this up here so we can keep working our way up here and blasting the rest of this out, which is what we desire. Okay, didn't miss anything there. That's good. Sweet. Last few pieces of dynamite. We're not going to explode that one because we have beavers in the way. Thankfully, they're just bots, and it wouldn't be that sad if we lost bots, but it would be that sad if we lost bots. How did that guy not get connected? All right, where's that? They are done here. Means we can pop that off. And now we just need to do a series of 1s and 2s again. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to lay the rest of all this, rest my voice for half of a second, because apparently I'm losing it, and build up the rest of this monstrosity that we are crafting for ourselves. And I will see you on the flip side of this very quick and dirty speed up montage.
to build a reservoir with some dams and water wheels, or maybe, I don't know, a canal. But the most important thing is that we build a good economy and storage for our massive amounts of wood.
I asked them, can you do that?
What is he doing now? I swear it can be real. The beavers have been begging me to tell you how they feel. And the beavers all said yes, we can. It's time to expand our storage yet again, yet again, yet again.
And then, when they had done all that, I said, well, it's time to grow. So get ready to build and we'll build. Cause in order to build the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen, we need an even bigger economy and storage.
For our massive amounts of wood. Can you do that?
What is he doing now?
I swear it can be real. The beavers have been begging me to tell you how they feel.
And the beavers all said yes, we can. It's time to expand our storage yet again, yet again.
Yet again.
Shadow, you are the worst. You really are. You really are. Shadow, you are the worst. You really are. You really are.
And when they had done all that, they asked me what we were building. I said, I want to build a roller coaster made out of wood. And it would be even better if it was a roller coaster that you could ride. I know it's kind of a ridiculous thing to do, but can you do that?
And the beavers all said yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
And then I said we need an even bigger economy and storage for our massive amounts of wood.
Can you do that?
And the beavers all said yes, we can. It's time to expand our storage yet again, yet again.
Yet again.
Shadow, you are the worst. You really are. You really are. Shadow, you are the worst. You really are.
You really are. Yeah, we're gonna need more storage. That's what Shadow said today. We could fill another warehouse, but we'd rather just be laying in the shade.
The potatoes in the oven, the potatoes on the ground.
Another billion logs moved around. Are we sure this isn't a coven?
Either way, we did it.
Let's hit the showers!
All right. Well, It's not beautiful, but it works. It does the job. Now we've got plenty of storage for all the planks and all the gears, 13,000 and 10,000 respectively. Or not gears, planks and logs, and we got more storage for dirt and more storage for metal blocks. So overall, it's a net positive. Could probably figure out a way to make the commute a little bit less egregious for them, but my brain apparently cannot brain ball that easily. So yeah, there's that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's quite the problem I've created for myself. Go ahead and dump this. We'll just dump all that. This is all died due to flooding, so that's great. That'll clear up hopefully, and then we can fix that. Pull this up to 0.75 where it belongs. Let the bots get back to work and replant all the things that I accidentally made not alive anymore. So that's on me. I accept full responsibility for that one. Sweet. We'll let them unfornicate that mess. And hopefully it doesn't happen again. Theoretically, it shouldn't happen again. This is still filling in very nicely. This stuff down here is slowly working its way back here. And like I said before, we'll probably work our way in there. And I also did mention that we'd probably get over here and connect this up. Which we should, because we have the capacity to do so. Which is very simple. We just connect all those pieces. Like so. Grab this. We go ahead and grab that. We grab that piece right there as well. Pull that across, and then we just do this one little line right here. And beautiful. Okay, cool. That's in. That's done. That's what we wanted to get taken care of. I need to check on this. That's not going to flood. This is nearing max capacity, so that is the intended end state for all of that. I believe this is actually like the perfect height or thereabouts. Like this is inadvertently the peak elevation that needed to be in. I did think about putting in, like I said before, going back in here and having a huge or another storage container back in here, which would be a good thing for us to think about doing. But I don't think that's really worth our time right now. I do want to think about what we need to do for the future. What we need to do for the future is go ahead and start working on this over here, which is another thing that I had planned on tackling at some point today, which includes putting all of our well-being stuff. We have nothing to do as far as that change in systems, so we'll just go ahead and let that run its course. This is supposed to be on the ground. We have to run power into the back of this too, if I'm not mistaken. We'll burn the 1200 science, get that unlocked. We can put in some more dirt back here just to make sure that that is appropriately on the ground, and that looks something like that. That needs to get ripped out, as does that. I don't think we have anything over here really that needs our attention anymore. There is this down here, which is something that we could think about getting into, but I don't really feel the need to do anything about that quite yet. Do want to pause this real quick though, just so that we can run power up to here relatively easily. So that's going to look like this back here. Should just be a triple right there. And then we do also need to run power underneath. So I want to check this. That is one away. Pull this up one more. That goes right there, if I'm not mistaken. No, one more down. Right here. Go up one and tell them not to do that. And why didn't I just do this? Click on that button. There we go. Should be able to reach that. Hopefully. Tell them not to blow that one out. We saved that. Good. That should reach all the way down there. And we've got to run power underneath somehow. I think we have a power line somewhere back in here. Or we did at one point. We have a power line over here. We have a power line over there. We can rip one of these out. That's totally fine. That's acceptable. So that means doing something like this. We'll just go ahead and go 1 by 3 across there. Rip this out. And hopefully they get that tapped in real quick. We want to rip this portion. That out. Just lost a few of those, but that's fine. Then we want to run a vertical power shaft up. Vertical power shaft there. Then we want to run this underneath there. That doesn't belong there. Sorry, guys. This vertical power shaft goes right there. And now we can put this back in here. That is the oil press. That can get reconnected just like that. And this goes back up. And then we backfill all of this back in here. Boosh, 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 boosh. That should connect and give us all the juice. Theoretically. And they should come over here and knock that out for us pretty quickly. Power-wise, we're still at 24,000 out of 15,000, so we're not dipping too deeply into that power conundrum quite yet. I do want to get in underneath here and run power along the line, or along these lines over here. I also want to clear that path out like so. Give us a nice path right there. Connect, please. Thank you. Game is very, very laggy today. That is enough for 4. It's 10 plus. Okay, so it's those two. Yeah, 12. 12 should be right. We want another line on this side. That. We also want to dig under. We have to keep this on the ground by 1, right? We have to go under by 1. So that means attaching in from here. And this should pop up right there, right where we want it to go. Now, we want to hit that button, detonate that. That should give us access to that right there, which means we can now grab this. And by that, I mean this. Hit that button, hit this button. And then once they get this gone, we can run power in and underneath, hopefully without too much consternation. So that gets connected. This goes down through there. That's going to provide us a little bit more entertainment for our beavers, which is going to be brilliant. Exactly what they've asked for. Exactly what they've hoped for. And then some. Water's looking great. We could probably expand our bad water storage capacity just a tad bit. We do have the capability to do so. We're at 101,000 science. I don't think we're going to have an issue with science anytime soon. We're just going to go ahead and backfill all of this. Why not? I don't know if this is going to be needed, but it's better be safe than sorry. Or sorry, as our Canadian friends would say. Thankfully, I'm not the Canadian, so I don't have to be concerned with that. Alright, let's pull this down. Check on how this is coming along. We're going to have to do this one at a time just so we don't get our beavers stuck. Because they do have a tendency to do ridiculous things like get themselves stuck like that. And we want to try to avoid that to the utmost of our capabilities here. Now we're just waiting on them to throw in this last piece of dynamite. Or last two pieces of dynamite and some stuff and things. And that'll be good. That'll be grand. One more tunnel to go. And then we'll have to do the one by one back in here as far as the power shafts are concerned. I do think we need to probably expand our bot charging stations because I feel like we're probably a little undercharging them potentially. That is something for us to keep in the back of our nugget. We want them to come over here and turn that on. I don't know why they haven't already slapped it already. This is fine. Hello? Can you guys not reach it? Nope, there we go. There's a bot. Connected. Give this a max priority, and we're going to do this for a second. Pardon me while we get this in one at a time. All right. That took a few more seconds than I would have liked, but everything is in, so that's all that matters. Now we can go ahead and unlock our mud baths, and they should connect without any issue to the power system. They are turning blue. That means that there should be power running to it. And now we can just go ahead and fill all of this in like such as, and put our beautiful path in along here. And a few more well-being things, and that should be grand. We do need a couple more campfires because we are lacking in the campfire realm according to our tabulator. That should rectify that issue, and it doesn't help that they only have so many spots available to them in said campfire arena, but that should be easy. Now, the same problem is going to be ran into as far as the mud baths are concerned, but in theory, that should be not that big of an issue for us. Now, that's going to increase our overall happiness a fair amount, which I'm very excited about. And then, the last thing that we need to do, probably get in a few more motivatoriums and a few more scratchers. We have the capacity to put in a few scratchers. You know, what's better than a good scratch after a nice hangout at the campfire, huh? Let's put in a few scratchers up here. I love it. I inadvertently made a nice piece of real estate back here. We throw in another motivatorium because we have the capacity to do so. They are building all of the things for us, and we do want to, at some point, probably put in a few more wind tunnels. It probably means coming up in here and blasting some more of this out for us, which is totally acceptable. And then the last thing that we need to do is store up all of the goods that we need for the Earth Repopulator, which is 1,500 gears, which we have, which is 2,000 sparkly planks, which we have, but we need more stored up, and then 2,000 metal blocks, which we also have. The question is, where do we want to place all of those bad Johnnies, or where do we want to put this? I kind of like the idea of having it like right on top of our entire civilization right here. And how do we have 24 beavers without a home? That's my question. When did that happen? Oops. Let's rectify that real quick. Game is really chugging right now. I don't like that at all. Those out, that out. Get this in right here. This in right here. Is that what I need? How did we do this before? Like this, with a double here, and then we did something like that. Like that. There we go. We put in our doubles right there, and then we put in our singles and put our little roof on top there. Bada bing, bada boom. And now everybody's happier once again. All right. Question is, does this require power? Does not require power, it just requires material. Oh, that bell gets me every time. Okay. 57. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Okay. Put in a little bit more as far as back scratchers are concerned, since they are single beaver use. Kind of makes things a little harder for them to all gain access to them at the same time, which is fine. Maybe we put the Earth Repopulator up here. Maybe we do that. So let's see here. That means that I want to grab this. Grab this. And something like that. Should be able to reach all of those without too much consternation. I do need to give them a path so that they can actually gain access to their new domiciles. So we no longer have any homeless beavers. Why do we have homeless beavers? Are they no longer homeless now? Are we good? They're not in a random, non-existent... No, we're good. Okay, sweet. 58, sweet, beautiful, glorious, what we wanted to see. Rip those all out, and now we can go ahead and put in our staircase right here. And let's go ahead and unlock our Earth Repopulator. Oh my goodness. That is massive on a scale I was not anticipating. I always forget how big the Earth Repopulator is. This is fine. Everything is fine. Give us a nice big square plot of land to work with. Because Iron Teeth and their square plots of land. And I kind of want to have this even Steven. Even though it's highly unnecessary. I feel like that's right. 1, 2, 3. Let's just use this. 1 by 13. Yeah, that should fit right in the center. Yeah. 59. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 60. I love it. This is going great. Check on the well-being. Earth Repopulator is basically all that's left other than vamping up our... Oh, that bell. The bell keeps getting me. Vamping up our wind tunnel access and exercise plaza access. And then also vamping up our bot production to cover down on all of our total beavers. Which is fine. I love it. How are we doing over here? This is looking pretty good. This is also looking pretty good. Go ahead and check out how this is coming along. They have made some good progress back into here, and I'm going the wrong way. They have stopped because reasons. It's totally acceptable. That's all right. Should be able to tap into this power line somehow. And just run that across, which I'm not opposed to doing. Yes, this should be something very easily obtainable. Now, how's this coming along? Can they reach all this? They can reach all of that. And they can work on all of that while we gin up our Earth Repopulator. 20,000 science right there, and that covers all of our housing and all of our entertainment areas and all of the beautiful places, and our beavers are stuck. So let's just go ahead and tear that out so those guys aren't stuck anymore. Let's try this again, shall we? All right. Now to let that run its course. This is one of the longest buildings in the entire game because it takes a hot minute. It truly does take a hot minute to get all the things in here. We could probably make their lives a tad bit easier by tapping into our wind tunnel, our tubeway station network, and running that over here. Maybe we will do that. I'm not opposed to that. Honestly, it'd probably take less time for them to do that than not. Wait, why is that not connected? What is that? That hasn't been connected this whole time? What is this? What is this? That's insane. Okay, well, now that should make their lives a tad bit easier. Probably not that much easier, but this is going in. So what we're going to do is we're going to stare at this awkwardly for the next... Oh, let's figure out why they're not doing this. Can you guys finish this one? There we go. Great. We're going to stare at this and let the beavers do what beavers do. Of course, enjoy the motivatorium and the beavers lounging and all of the fun stuff. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate that as well. It has been an absolute pleasure to play this game with y'all, and it's been an absolute blast to see all of the things happen in this game through the 1.0 experimental branch update thus far. This doesn't mean the map is complete. We're probably going to readdress this map after a few of the updates come out as time progresses. As you guys saw a couple episodes ago, some of the changes that did come with the map didn't actually follow through into the next update / this save file. It means I didn't get an opportunity to do all the fun, new, exciting things, and I'd like to actually tackle that. And of course, there's another map out there floating around. We will come back to this one, like I said, probably once 1.0 comes out entirely to deal with all of the new and exciting, fun things that the experimental branch and or 1.0 has entailed for us. But as it stands right now, this is kind of a broken playthrough at this point. Either way, it has been an absolute blast. I appreciate you all wherever you're in the world. Stay safe out there. Keep rocking the free world, and we'll see you all in the next episode of I Don't Know What to Do With My Hands. And our beautiful beavers doing beautiful beaver things as they tackle this glorious, glorious final build. Alright guys, appreciate y'all. I'm out. See ya!
Bill, he's back. No rest for beavers in the shadows of the dark. The Timberborn, the king has come. He'll see his kingdom done. So sing and drink up while you can and build this perfect land. I need a nap. Shadow's blight is gonna give me a heart attack. It's like every day we gotta do something whack, but he's gonna save the world with beavers, baby, yeah. And build the Earth Repopulator, build the Earth Repopulator, build the Earth Repopulator, build the Earth Repopulator. When will it end? He's always got some other nonsense to attend. Another project on the way. The workload never fades. So drink your sap and say your prayers. The king is almost there. We gotta build a big machine. It's gonna repopulate the earth with beavers. We gotta get the water flowing. Gotta build a dam, gotta get going. So build the Earth Repopulator, build the Earth Repopulator, build the Earth Repopulator, build the Earth Repopulator. Ooh, so build the Earth Repopulator, build the Earth Repopulator, build the Earth Repopulator, build the Earth Repopulator. Shadows Blight's got a big plan. He's gonna save the world again with a big dam. He's gonna save the world again with a big dam. And beavers, baby, yeah. Repopulator. Repopulator. Repopulator.
And there we are. The Earth Repopulator is complete. Now to get all of the required materials up here to make their life a little bit easier. Maybe. Hopefully. We'll see. One thing that I did in the background while everything was up and running, I'll show you guys here in a second, is I may or may not have made a few minor upgrades to everything. Dang, that's going to be a lot of sparkly planks. Yeah, a few minor upgrades. Just a few. But we'll let this go ahead and max out. Let our Build-A-Beavers continue building through the night. We'll collect our sparkly planks and our berries and get these in here as soon as beaverly possible. And we might toss in a few extra wood workshops or something along those lines in here. We could definitely fit 2 right here. That shouldn't be a problem. That should move things along a little bit easier. Maybe. Who knows? Our bot production is finally catching up a little bit after I backfilled a lot of grease factory positions, so this took a lot of our bots, which is why you probably saw a lot of our beavers doing not hanging out and doing nothing things. So that's why that happened, but this is fine. This is expected. This is reasonable. And now we just wait for this to fill up. And it'll be a second, so we'll chillax while that finishes all those things, and we'll stare at what's going on here. Probably pull the workday back a little bit, so our beavers have a little bit more things to do in the, or time off in the evening. We'll get this popped off and launched. Maybe we'll swap over to our bots or something. I think everything's looking pretty good. Everything's looking really nice. Water's looking good. This is well irrigated now. This actually held up really nicely. That's nice. This little project, side project, is almost complete down here too. If the game will listen to me. So that is pretty cool. It'll take a little bit longer to get this complete, but that might be something that we do in the future. Like I said, this playthrough is not completely done, but I'm going to focus on some other things and try some more entertaining or more challenging stuff. I'm not going to say that this wasn't a challenge, but the moment that the game was broken by the update to the aquifer drill and the bad tide coming out of it, I kind of lost some of the challenge there. It was fun trying to figure out how to do all those things. Anyway, we're gonna let this fill up slowly but surely, and we'll catch you on the next episode of I Don't Know What to Do With My Hands. You guys have a wonderful time. I'm out. See ya.
And beavers only live 1,000 days. And I don't know why he needs it. And he needs it, and he needs it all the time. Shadows blight and his Timberborn beavers are building the Earth Repopulator to save beaver kind. And the poor beavers have to deal with shadows incessantly to do ridiculous things all the time.